Rob, I'm going to move on to you and onto rugby. A much better weekend for the South African sides. Anything else that really stood out for you in particular?
Yeah, Nick, I must say it was a sort of weekend where we had reason to sort of have smiles on our dials. Not only did we actually bank a few solid victories to make the South African conference look just that little bit sort of stronger suddenly, but the quality of rugby was also something that was almost unexpected, because it's been pretty tepid stuff watching a lot of the South African teams sort of drudge their way through a few weeks.
Listening to us?
Perhaps they have. Maybe they've taken some constructive tips. But the really pleasing thing for me was the quality of backline play. I thought suddenly the South African teams just seemed to sort of come out of their shells and sort of produce a little bit of expression. It does help that we didn't play any New Zealand teams over the weekend. That puts a little bit of perhaps a false gloss on things. Let's not forget that South Africa are still a lot higher ranked in international terms than the Australians are. So you should say, well, there's not really a major surprise in South African teams knocking over a heap of Aussie sides on any given weekend. But a couple of really good results. And I thought that for me, absolutely the result of the weekend was definitely the Stormers upsetting the defending champions in their own backyard. I don't think too many of us would have called it. Most of us had a Super Brew bloodbath over the weekend.
Yeah, mine was awful.
But it was one of those weekends where you thought, well, I'll take the hit, because it was just nice to see a good vibe, a little bit of passion, and crowds perhaps also starting to re-emerge at a couple of stadiums. I see the Lions got something like 37,000 people in at home. So just generally a nice feel-good weekend. Let's hope for a few more.
Garen, you've been very much on the Lions train the last few weekends. I mean, they've knocked over two of the big South African giants. I mean, they seem unstoppable at the moment.
Yeah, one of the very few predictions I got right this weekend, Nick. They really played well. I was very, very impressed. And the Sharks got off to a good start. I thought this was them then turning around, turning the corner. But hats off to the Lions. They came back, scored a key try just before half-time to go down, to go into the break, sort of only 3 points behind, and they really dominated the second half. The Sharks had no business winning that game. The fact that they actually had a kick in the last minute to win it, was rather bizarre, because the Lions pretty much dominated territory possession. They're rolling mauls, driving from the line out was fantastic. They should have scored a number of, I thought, more tries. They scrummed really well. So they're just going from strength to strength. Well, the Sharks are the one South African team that's sort of slipping further and further down the table. They look like they're going to really struggle to make the playoffs, and we're only sort of at the halfway mark now. But the Lions, they've pulled out some gritty wins at the end, which says something for their character. It would be nice if they had a convincing win, if you like. It didn't rely on a last-minute missed penalty or trial of their own. So they're I don't want to say a smaller union, but in terms of player depth, they're certainly probably the union, along with the Cheetahs, that has the least in depth. But they definitely get the most out of their players. And I think hats off to Johan Ackerman, the coach. He's really done wonders there. Credit to them. May they win many, many more matches this season.